Okay, what have I told you?
Yeah.
Seriously. That the flap of a butterfly's wings in, say, Brazil could actually set off a tornado in Texas sounds kind of impossible, right? Like something out of science fiction. But today, we're going to dive deep into a concept that shows just how, well, interconnected everything is. It's called the butterfly effect. The basic idea, even the tiniest action can ripple out across time, across space, and completely change what happens later. Now, this term, the butterfly effect, it actually came about in the 1960s. There was a meteorologist, Edward Lorenz. He was using computers, early computers, to model weather patterns. And here's the amazing part. He reran a simulation just to check something, but this time he typed in a number rounded off by just a tiny fraction, like a few decimal places, not even a whole number change. And the result, whoosh, the whole weather forecast just diverged, went completely off track, totally different outcomes. So when Lorenz saw this, what did that mean for science? Was this like a whole new way of seeing things?
Well, absolutely. It was revolutionary is probably the right word. What Lorenz had stumbled upon wasn't just some glitch in his program. It was a fundamental truth about what we call complex systems. Think weather, ecosystems, economies. In these systems, things don't just add up simply. Tiny inputs can get massively amplified through, well, feedback loops. His model just kept iterating, and that microscopic rounding error got bigger and bigger with each step. It sent the whole simulated weather onto a path you just couldn't have predicted from the start. That's the core of it, sensitivity to initial conditions.
Wow. That really messes with your gut feeling about cause and effect, doesn't it? You expect big causes for big effects. Okay, let's make this more concrete. Let's talk about some real-world examples, because this isn't just, weather theory.
Right, exactly. History is full of these moments if you look closely. A classic example people often bring up is World War I. We know it was triggered by the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in 1914. But the butterfly moment, the first attempt on his life, actually failed that day. It was only later, because his driver took a wrong turn down a street. Then he ended up right in front of Gavrilo Princip, the assassin. Just boom, that one wrong turn.
It's staggering, the weight of that single accidental detour. And you see similar things in science, right? Like the story of Newton and the apple. We all know it. Maybe it's partly legend, but the idea holds. If that apple hadn't fallen just then, when he was there thinking about forces, would gravity's laws have clicked for him right then or later? Or differently? It shows how, external chance meets a ready mind.
Precisely. Or think about Alexander Fleming. Penicillin. That was a total accident. He wasn't trying to find an antibiotic. He just went on holiday and accidentally left a Petri dish uncovered. Came back, saw mold and killed bacteria around it. A mistake. But it led to one of the biggest medical breakthroughs ever, saved countless lives. It was unplanned, unforeseen. Just happened.
And technology, too. Look at Apple. Sleek design, that focus on aesthetics. Steve Jobs famously talked about taking a calligraphy class in college. Totally unrelated to computers back then. But he said that class taught him about fonts, about beauty and design, and that stuck with him. It shaped Apple's whole identity. Makes you wonder, right? No calligraphy class. Maybe a very different Apple. Or maybe no apple as we know it.
And what connects all these examples, the wrong turn, the apple, the moldy dish, the calligraphy class, is how these tiny, seemingly random moments became pivotal. They weren't the only factor. Of course, complex events have complex causes. But they acted as these critical sparks, these small nudges, in a system that was sensitive enough for them to matter. A lot. It highlights that inherent unpredictability.
Okay, so this is fascinating historically. But what does it mean for us, in our everyday lives? Because the butterfly effect isn't just for scientists or historians. It feels like a lens, maybe, for looking at our own choices. Think about it in your own life. Maybe you missed a bus, and because you were waiting for the next one, you bumped into an old friend, and that led to a new job opportunity. Or a casual comment you made just offhand sparked an idea in someone else that grew into something huge. Or even deciding maybe to help a stranger with something small. You might never know the positive ripple effect that starts. That tiny business idea you have today. Who knows, maybe it could inspire thousands down the line.
Absolutely. It really drives home the point that our choices, even the ones that feel insignificant, they do matter, maybe more than we think. The ripple you start today, well, it could genuinely create waves tomorrow. You just can't always see the connection.
So I think the big takeaway here, the really empowering thing from this deep dive, is that you listening, you are powerful. Your smallest actions, your words, your ideas, they could be the starting point for something truly monumental.
Exactly. It's not just about chaos and unpredictability. It's about the potential that exists in every single moment, in every choice.
So never underestimate that power. Your power. Every moment matters. Every single decision counts.